Many people will say, an unboxing, that's boring, right? Well, no. The reason I do unboxings for my channel is because I'd like to show other aquarists products that I try out and then let them see whether or not they work for me. Then they'll have some idea of whether or not they want to spend the money themselves. So for my hobby, unboxing, that's one part of the show. I see Amazon did a good job with this. I could have followed the instructions and just pulled the tab, but I thought scissors would be easier. I was wrong. Alright, first item, and it's got some extra plastic here, so let's get it out of that. See what... see the labeling better. This is New Life Spectrum brand AlgaeMax Mini-Wafers. Now this brand is a little more expensive than the leading brand. However, you want to look at the first three ingredients. And for this item, the first three are algae. I want to pronounce this correctly. Chlorella seaweed. And then the third is uva seaweed. And then after that we get red seaweed, kelp, spirulina, and wakame seaweed, then whole Arctic krill, giant squid, and finally we get into filler, whole wheat flour. With the leading brand, you're going to get flour, corn, some kind of filler in the first three ingredients, and that's not what we want. We want to get good stuff like algae and krill, squid, that type. So I would recommend this brand for the serious aquarist. Much better for the fish and shrimp as well. The other item is from a different distributor, so it's going to be in a separate box from what Amazon put. Okay, now for years and years I have purchased what's called a brine shrimp net, but in reality those nets don't have very fine mesh, so you have to double up on them. 2 brine shrimp nets. Generally, if you put one inside the other, you get nearly all of the brine shrimp knotly. But those nets also wear out very quickly. So I ordered these nets with very fine mesh. There's actually three different levels here. And it'll say in the directions which is the finest mesh. So, happy, not happy, thank you for your purchase. We're happy that if you're happy, if you don't. Alright, so no directions. Well, looking at this, am I going to be able to tell which is the finest mesh? I'd say definitely the green is going to be the finest. So this should get all of the Monopoly. And in the blue, well, maybe not so much, but in conjunction with the coarse, I think this is medium. that would probably work. But as I said, one of the main things is this is very durable. Okay, this is durable stuff. Should last a long time. Won't be buying another brine shrimp net after a year or so. I was a bit concerned because these are called Mini-Wafers. So let's see what the actual size is. I think that's going to be pretty good. The cherry shrimp in this tank are finishing off some blanched broccoli from a day or two ago. So let's see what happens when I add the New Life Spectrum pellet. Half an hour later, these shrimp are covering that food. In the future, I may want to break this food up with a mortar and pestle, but I'll see after 24 hours if they're able to devour an entire pellet. "24 hours later, all traces of the New Life Spectrum algae wafer are gone. So I believe one algae wafer every other day for this tank should be fine. Of course, I'll space it out with Fluval bug bites and other types of sinking pellets that I have for them, interspersed with blanched vegetables like broccoli and canned green beans with no salt added. French style seems to work best. The green handle, what they're calling 200 mesh, appears to be the finest. So I'm going to use that. The manufacturer says that you can double up on the mesh, and supposedly eggs will go through one mesh and Nauplii will only go through another, and that way you can separate. But for me, many of the eggshells wind up high on the glass in the jar due to the action of the air stone, and after allowing the jar to sit in the light for 15-20 minutes, most of the Nauplii either approach the light or go away from it. So it's easy for me to take the turkey baster and get them without sucking up very many eggs. I've turned the mesh inside out. Now I can offer the Nauplii to these adult white cloud mountain minnows.